Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Chamber Podcast. We are joined today by Kathy King from Kathy King Strategies, LLC. She is a success coach and she is a dance instructor at Michelle's Academy of Dance and Performing Arts here in Brighton. Kathy, welcome back to the studio. We're excited to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you before. This is probably your first time on Chamber.
Yeah.
We've had you on Good Fat Life, Sherry Richards.
Yep.
And we're super excited to get more into your background today and to talk more about marketing and small businesses because that's kind of our thing here. So
love it.
Tell us a little bit about your background. How'd you get started and what do you do?
Awesome. So I'm a City of Brighton resident. I live right downtown. I can walk here from my house. It's awesome. I'm a 2003 Brighton High School graduate. I didn't grow up in Michigan. I grew up in the South. I actually grew up right outside of Memphis. But I have a unique story of how I got here. So I have been in the dance industry my entire life. I grew up a dancer. I was, classic at age 2.5. Mom put me in the ballet class and I never stopped. So I knew when I was a young kid, I wanted to be a dance teacher when I grew up. I think I just had that, it was just ingrained in me, that spirit of being driven to want to pursue my own thing throughout my whole life. So fast forward a couple of decades and we landed in Michigan. I started performing professionally at a young age, at age 15, and started teaching young, took a gap year after high school, went to LA, trained, performed, taught out there, ended up back in Detroit at Wayne State. And a couple years into my college journey, I launched my first company. So that started my entrepreneurial journey of awesomeness. And so my first venture was a nonprofit professional and pre-professional dance company. We performed all throughout Michigan and the Midwest. And it was a great platform for professional dancers here in the Michigan area to have and build a career locally without feeling that pressure of having to move to LA like I did when I was 17. It was like the day I turned 18, I drove to LA. So it was just a really good platform for local professionals to have a career locally here in Michigan, because Michigan is a dance state. We have a ton of brilliant artists here in this state. Fast forward a couple more years, I launched the Brighton Dance Festival, which started out as a very grassroots. I think our first year we had like 21 attendees total from just the local area. And I grew that company into an international annual summer event that brought on average 100 to 130 attendees from globally all around the world to our awesome town of Brighton every summer. And this is actually my first year. I closed the doors on Brighton Dance Festival. It lived its life, it served its purpose, and I'm moving on to other things. So with my background in having this entrepreneurial journey in the arts industry, when the pandemic hit and the dance world shut down, I launched Kathy King Strategies and started coaching, which was really a long time coming because I had already been mentoring dance professionals for a long time, but officially started mentoring and coaching dance professionals on how to be more business minded, business savvy, treating themselves like the professionals that they are, especially freelance choreographers, educators, performers. And so I was doing a lot of virtual coaching, did that for about a year. So like 2020 to 2021. And then eventually just saw a need for specifically women entrepreneurs that just need that person in their corner who's going to really motivate them and push them and give them the support that they need to build, launch, and grow purpose-driven businesses, that passion that's in their heart. And it's like, I know I've got this thing, but I don't know what to do. It's so overwhelming. If you've ever started a business before, it's so overwhelming and you don't learn that stuff in school. I think even if you go to business school, I have friends who have MBAs that I coach people who have MBAs that they still don't know how to start a business and feel successful and design a life that works for them. So that's it in a nutshell. I could ramble on that for days, but that's kind of how I got from being a little child who wanted to be a dance teacher growing up to being a business and entrepreneurship coach and also teaching dance. I'll teach dance forever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And Rob Johnson, who is our regular host, I should have said that. I'm filling in. I do what I want when it's my show, so whatever. But no, so I'm filling in for him today. But something that he's talked about before is working in your business versus working on your business. As far as like going from, I am, passionate about teaching dance to running a dance school.
Yes.
Like those seem like two kind of different mindsets. Like how do you approach coaching in that situation?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that I think really charged my passion for starting Kathy King Strategies was I see that in the arts industry all the time. I love what I do and I'm really good at it. So I want to make money doing this. Awesome. But how are you actually turning that into a brand and a business? And how are you being responsible financially with that? And because you can be wildly financially successful in the arts industry, even though we're told otherwise our whole lives. I mean, I literally had a high school counselor that was like, you need a backup plan. You're not going to ever make a living being a dancer. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Do you know who you're talking to? And it's been a great journey and I've had a very successful career. And so, yeah, it's absolutely, there's, working in your business is the day-to-day stuff. And, for an artistic person, it's the day-to-day of creating work, creating choreography for a dancer, training and things like that. For someone who maybe sells a product or anything like that, the day-to-day, that's, you're answering your emails and you're, designing your website and doing those things. Working on your business is the visionary work. That's the, what am I going to do to change the world, if we want to think that big right now. So really you have to have both. And, that's where having a business coach in your corner can help you clarify those things, the in and the on, and really dedicating and finding a strategy to making it happen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take advantage of that awesome segue that you just gave me to talk about marketing. See what we did there. So we're talking about marketing for small businesses also, and specifically using Instagram for small businesses, because we're talking about changing this from, oh, this is just what I'm passionate about, to this is the vision. Here's how I want to share it with the world. So when it comes time to educate someone about using Instagram, what are like 3 easy takeaways that people could just take away from this show? Like, hey, if I don't know where to start and I'm completely upside down, what's a good jumping off point?
Sure. I'll start with, I love Instagram, and I know social media is a little chaotic and can feel toxic sometimes, but I'm an advocate of curating your experience on social media. So Instagram is an incredible tool for small business owners, solopreneurs like myself, people who work for themselves, by themselves, side hustlers. You have a day job, but you've got this side hustle. And so I think number one, establish why you're using social media. So are you on Instagram to become an influencer and to secure brand deals and grow your following to the millions and do all of that? Great. Are you on Instagram to reach your target audience? Are you on Instagram to sell a product? Like, establish why you're on the platform, because that's going to help guide the types of content that you're going to put out, and how you use your page. And then I think secondly, it's really easy to be scrolling and on social media and see how other businesses use the platform to market their business. And then you feel like, well, they're doing it this way, so I have to do it that way. And it's really, the more that you can be authentic to yourself, like, you have to make your Instagram page make sense for your business. And so how other coaches might market themselves on Instagram, it might not work for me because I'm a different kind of coach. So you have to really make sure that you're aware of being authentic to yourself, and honest in how you are going to use the platform. And then I think third, like, calm down and have fun. It's really, so many of my clients just get so stressed out and they're so worried if they're going to post the wrong thing, or, oh my gosh, I had a typo and if I had to delete the whole thing. And it's like, just calm down. It's fine. People love to see realness on social media. We're so sick of filters. Like, stop putting filters on every video you post. You look great. Your skin's nice. It's fine. And I think that if we just take the pressure off and, again, just be authentic to who you are, and just have some fun with it. It's social media. It's meant to be social. Like, get on there, communicate with your audience, and be real to who you are. And it's going to be a lot more fun.
Yeah, and it's not like your small business Instagram page should feel like a multi-billion-dollar corporation's page, or a giant influencer page, or someone with completely different goals from you either.
100%. Yeah. And it's good to have, you are building a brand. So you do, a brand to me is really, you're crafting a perceived image, right? So you're shaping the way the outside world sees your business. So you are crafting a brand. So, if you want to have this luxury brand, or, you want to have a business that will grow to the millions or what, that's great. But also you have to be honest with what your business is and why you're on social media and what you're doing. So, and I think too, when you break it down and you get clear on why you're on social media and why you're using the platform, is it to again, just like reach your target audience so you can sell more of your product or book more clients. That's a totally different experience than becoming an influencer and just trying to get as many followers as you can. And I see a lot of small business owners just try to get as many followers as they can. And they're just screaming to the void. And, they're getting upset when their family and friends aren't liking their page. But guess what? Your family and friends might not be your ideal customer. Mm-hmm. So, you have to get clear on why you're on the platform. And that's super helpful.
Yeah, no, 100%, absolutely. Yeah. And to steal a page, I'm going to shout out again, Sherry Richards from Good Fat Life. We end up calling your episode "Who Made That Rule?"
Yeah.
Like, people are always afraid to do things. They're afraid to take action. But it sounds like your whole life you've been, can I not? Am I not allowed? Am I legally not allowed to do that? Like, and
exactly.
if the answer is yeah.
So like, who made that rule? Yeah, it's again, it's your business. You start. I'm speaking to entrepreneurs right now. That's my sweet spot. You started your business for a reason, and it's especially my purpose driven people who are out there to change the world, who are out there to change lives. You started your business for a reason. Run it how you want. I run my company how I want to run my company, and if the coach down the street runs her company a different way, awesome. I'm going to support you too and clap for you as well. So yeah, who made that rule? Why do we have to do things like everyone else?
Yeah, exactly. You should do things your way.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about also, and this is something that you've emphasized before too, is networking and how to make it less horribly awkward. Because I think everyone in their head has an image of what good networking looks like, right?
Sure.
We can all kind of imagine it, and it but it doesn't quite amount to that in a lot of cases. So give us a little bit of help talking about networking and how to make it a bit more of a natural process.
Yeah, that's so funny. I was just at a networking group this morning. I was growing up, which is really funny because I've been a performer my whole life, but pretty much all the way through like my high school years, I was the painfully awkward and shy kid that would not talk to anyone unless they talked to me first. I wouldn't even call like the pizza place to order pizza because I was too nervous to talk to someone I didn't know. And then, we grow and we learn things. And now I look at networking as an opportunity to build relationships. And if my dad taught me anything, so my dad was my greatest mentor in life, in business especially. He was an incredible businessman. And, I started my career young at age 15, and he taught me from that young age to really treat myself like a business. So I think that that's really what has equipped me to be a mentor to other entrepreneurs over the years, over the decades. And the number one thing that he taught me that I will never forget the rest of my life is you have to stop chasing clients and you have to start chasing relationships. So when you look at networking as this opportunity to build a community and build relationships with people, as opposed to walking in a room and just passing out your business card, right?
Being a card pusher.
Oh my gosh, we're so tired of that. It's so done, right? Now I will say I do still like business cards. There's a lot, I'm an elder millennial, and there's a lot, my Gen Zers and my younger millennials. It's like, oh, the business card is so outdated, no one's using it. And it's like, okay, I get it. We're in a digital age, but also sometimes it is really nice to have a business card. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm an artist, the tangible,
tactile, oh yeah, I'm going to hand you something.
Exactly. That is nice. But, and also I do like to use a good QR code off my phone or tap here and you can get my information. But, we're so over just walking in a room and passing out your card, and not building genuine connections with people is so done. And so if you treat networking as this opportunity to go meet people who could potentially help your business, or that you could help their business, more importantly, I think any networking situation you go into, you should always go into it thinking what can I give today? How can I serve my community today? And always thinking about, I think the more you network, you start thinking, when you're out in the world, it's like, oh wait, I know this person that could, I met so-and-so at that networking event, and, my neighbor does this, and they were just asking oh, they need a handyman or whatever, and so if you really treat it as that opportunity to just go in and meet really cool people, you're not going to connect with everyone. I'm a part of a CirrusNet networking group here locally in Brighton. And then I just, any chance I get to go to, there's so many, Brighton community, there are so many opportunities to network around here between the chamber, all of our local amazing leaders in our community are doing so many cool things here at Wayne Media. I mean, oh my gosh, it's endless. And so if you go into it, you're going to meet so many people. You're not going to connect with everyone. You might follow up here and there, but it's going to kind of fizzle out. But you're going to make some of those really solid connections, and just think of it as you're making a new friend.
Yeah, you're being part of the community.
Totally. And you can't go into it going, what can they do for me? You have to go into it going like, I just want to get to know people. I just want to hear their story, because maybe they'll have this crazy story of being, a dancer their whole life and then turning into a business coach. Who knows? and it's just, it makes it more interesting that way. And, if you used to be the shy, awkward kid, if you go into it just genuinely curious and wanting to learn about other people, just ask more questions. Have a list of questions in your back pocket. What's your favorite color? I don't know. Get cheesy, and just have fun with it. And it makes networking a little easier.
Yeah. And and I produce Jason Tracy's show. And
cool.
I know he's just the master of that. And I always tell him, like, I always love him as a host and as a entrepreneur, because he's so interested in people.
Yeah.
Like just genuinely being interested beyond just what sale can I make today.
Totally. Just be curious.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes life more fun.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? So talking about finding the right match. Not everyone is going to be for you. That's okay. But like, talk about your ideal client. I know you talked about, dance instructors, but also I know you help women entrepreneurs, people who are trying to scale their companies. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So my ideal client is the woman who has a passion, who is really good at what she does, wants to turn that into a business or has turned it into a business, is feeling overwhelmed, maybe burned out, maybe just a little like clueless. Like, I have no idea where to start. Like, I've got this thing. I filed for my LLC. I have a website domain. What do I do next? That's kind of where I come in. And I am fully humble enough to say I am not the knower of all things business. What I do is I empower women to stand on their own 2 feet and feel very confident in running a business that's meaningful to them. So it's really, and I specialize in working with women just because being someone who started her career so young, and just being a woman who has been so ambitious and independent my entire life, the struggle is real. And it's, I think women have a unique need for community and support in their own way. I do work with men, and I do work with, I kind of work with everyone. I do lots of community workshops and things where everyone's invited, not just the ladies, but that's definitely my ideal client, is working with women who are passionate and great at what they do, but they just need a person in their corner, because we can't do it alone. Like, I know you're so good at what you do, but you can't do it alone. You have to lean in on people.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So I guess that segues into, you have an event coming up, and I wanted to give you the floor so you talk about that because it's related to Instagram and business. So just tell us a little bit about what's going on and how people can get involved.
Thank you, Brighton Chamber, for inviting me in to lead a Instagram for small business workshop. It's coming up on Tuesday, October 24th. At 9 a.m. So whenever you listen to this podcast, hopefully you listen to it before the event and you can join us. It's open to chamber members. We will be zoning in and focusing on, this would be a great workshop for small business owners, solo entrepreneurs like myself, side hustlers, maybe, again, like you've got a job, but you've got this other thing that is bringing you income, and you are maybe experienced on Instagram, maybe not, but I think it really will be beneficial no matter what level you're at with using Instagram, and coming in and just learning how to navigate the platform and using it to efficiently and effectively reach your ideal audience as a business owner and make it feel less stressful, less overwhelming. And so that, when you wake up in the morning, you're not going, oh my gosh, what do I have to post today? We can come up with strategies on automating things and, making it more fun and more beneficial. I really love focusing on using social media organically as opposed to doing paid ads. So the paid ad side of things is not my specialty. I think it's great and it works, but I love helping. Again, it's when you're just starting out in your business, a lot of times you don't have a marketing budget or you don't have a team of people that can be by your side. And so the goal is to teach you enough to where you can do this on your own, to get you to a place to where you can hire that team of people, or you can come to Wayne Media, or you can, and you can have an awesome team of people take over for you. But until then, come to my workshop at the chamber.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us today.
My
And
pleasure.
all the info about that will be in the show notes. Of course, we'll have your information down there too if people want to learn more. Kathy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Grant. This is awesome.
All right. And that is going to wrap it up for today, guys. Thanks for joining us for the Chamber Podcast. And we'll be back at it next week with more small business goodness here in Brighton. Y'all take care.